Hi. I'm about to take a bath. It's becoming a ritual again. And before I take off my makeup, I wanted to explain. I'm like, where do I begin? I'm a believer in like spirits and stuff, and so I went into a diabetic coma this weekend, and so but I really do believe that something like kept me here, and so I just want to touch and talk about what happened and why believe in whatever higher power. So, leading up to it, I want to say about 2 weeks or so, leading up to it, I had been feeling really bleh. And I guess I was told I am pre diabetic back in March. I was good maybe like a month for taking my medication and then stopped taking my medication. I never changed the way I ate because I'm 31. I'm too young to be diabetic. Um, it's like an invincible mindset. Like that's the only thing I was thinking. Um, but leading up, like the past 2 weeks, I was feeling really shitty and um, I was peeing a lot. I had made a joke to one of my friends. I was like, "Oh my god, like I feel like I'm pregnant. I'm always peeing." So it was a constant peeing, sweating a lot more than usual, uh, during like my sleep. So I'd wake up and just be drenched. I couldn't eat. Or I'd have a really little appetite, and yeah, just a bunch of weird symptoms. And so I thought I had COVID. So um, it was Wednesday last week, and so I had worked with my bartender, and we were taking a 30 top. And like 20 minutes into it, I told her, I was like, "Hey, I gotta go home. Like, I'm not feeling well at all, and I don't know what's going on. Like, I haven't drank in the past like week and a half, and yeah, I just don't know what's happening." And so my coworker let me go home, and when I got home, I have a few at home like COVID tests or whatever. So I took them, and I've been so like mindless about being diabetic that I didn't even think that diabetes was an option when I was like feeling sick or anything. I thought nothing of it. So I took a COVID test, comes out negative. So what I do is that night I try to go to the urgent care because I'm feeling so weird and just want to like figure out what's happening and tell them all of my symptoms. And so she had said that I should go to the ER. She said that they can do my blood, but it wouldn't come back till Monday. And blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so went to the ER. Their ER is a shit show. It literally, people were waiting there for 10 hours. So I had left after waiting 4 hours. Mind you, I was already in the process of going into a diabetic coma. Didn't even know it, but I waited 4 hours, didn't want to wait anymore, so I drove myself home. And the lights, instead of like at a street light, and so I'm looking at it, instead of seeing one single street light, it's tripling, seeing three of the street lights. And so I'm freaking out, and I'm like, fuck, like what the fuck is happening? So the next day, I tell like my family about it. They're like, "Oh, you need to go back to the ER, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, like I will." It's just like really long wait. I was like, "I will." I'm just so tired. I will go tomorrow morning. And so my family got really upset, but they're like, "Okay, whatever. As long as you go in the morning, it's fine." And so I had fell asleep. This was Thursday, and I fell asleep at around 11 o'clock ish, and I randomly woke up at 2 in the morning. So I'm laying there. I lay there for like 15 seconds, and I'm like contemplating getting up to go to the bathroom, kind of thing. And I have this tower fan, and it's only happened twice, but like randomly, it'll just kick on. Like the remote's on the coffee table, like not touched at all, and it'll just randomly kick on. It happened to me twice before. Um, But anyway, so I had just woken up, and again, 2 in the morning, that's spooky hour. Very into spiritual shit, like, and so it was spooky hour, whatever. And so it kicks on. And it kicks on for 3 seconds and then goes off. So when it goes off and I like freak out, I'm like on the couch, I'm like, fuck. And then it kicks back on randomly again, and it stays on this time. And now, if with the remote, if you turn it on, it starts at the lowest setting, and like the lowest force of push or whatever for air. But when it would randomly kicked on this night, it goes on full blast instantly. Really weird. And so it stayed on this time, and so I was like, fuck. And so after like 5 seconds, I get up and I go and I turn it off. I'm a little spooked, and then I go to the bathroom and I go pee. Now, if you know me, you know my favorite thing in this world is Papa Murphy's. It got to the point where I was eating it 3 times a week, honestly, and I would get a family-sized pizza and I would just eat it by myself. And I would start at 6 o'clock and then finish the pizza around like 2 in the morning. And it became like literally 3 times a week I would do that. And, you know, like it's in a combination with being, you know, upset and like blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, so that became a really bad habit. And anyways, after I went pee, I come back out and I lay on the couch or sit on the couch, and all I can smell, it smells like I just put a Papa Murphy's pizza in the oven. But it freaked me out because it made me think of like a last meal. I don't know why. That's exactly where my mind went. The second I smelled it, and it smelled like it legit was in my house. Like I just put the pizza in the oven, but it smelled like a last meal kind of thing. And it freaked me out so much that I called 911, and I get in the hospital, and then they check my sugar levels. Now, the average person, you want your sugar levels to be, your blood sugar to be like 70 to 99, and mine was at 594. So I definitely was past going into a diabetic coma. And then all my other levels were like just as fucked, my cholesterol, all of it. And so you know, I love talking to a camera. That's one of my things I do, and especially in this circumstance, I feel so crazy because I think that if I didn't, like, if the fan never kicked on, I didn't get up, I wouldn't have gotten up to turn off the fan. I would have just fell back asleep. And part of me thinks I just wouldn't have woken up after that. So don't know what this video's made for besides the fact of check on yourself. Like, just check your health and make sure you're good, because Lord knows in this whole world, like, nobody's gonna give a fuck as much as you. So just check on your health. Any little thing, and if you have a gut feeling, girl, I'm one to preach it, because I would listen to the fact that like people would tell me like, oh, you're, you know, not even just with other people, but with myself, like, oh, I'm only 31. Like, the doctors can't be right. I can't be diabetic, you know, and even friends would tell me that. And, you know, diabetes does run in my family, and not just like, it runs all over both sides, you know. So, yeah. I don't know, but I'm glad to be able to talk to a camera still. That's cool, because the alternative would have sucked. But yeah.